When I found out X passed away, it was June 18th, 2018. I was working at a car wash in Mercedes, and I was sitting on one of the wash buckets watching a really messed up video of X in his car slumped over. It was bad. I remember I was already in a really bad mood for a multitude of reasons that I will not say at the moment, but nonetheless, I don't know if you guys are like me, but whenever someone I really care about passes away, I always remember the exact time, place, and the entire day that led up to me finding out about it. I always remember it because death is very final. I mean, that's it. There's nothing after it. At least, that's what it should be, right? See, artists who have passed away that are really successful have more or less usually have releases after they've passed away. These are called posthumous projects. Examples could be Michael Jackson's Michael, Nirvana's Unplugged in New York. Some are really decent, like Circles by Mac Miller, Legends Never Die by Juice WRLD. Really decent. And you can tell the people behind it actually cared about how it came out, carefully crafting it the way they felt the artist would have wanted it to be made. While it still may be a money grab, at least these bodies of work aren't completely shameless and those projects came out with moderate care. On the complete other hand, you have projects that just absolutely should have never fucking seen the light of day. This isn't just in the rap industry, mind you. Posthumous projects are not set to a certain genre. You can absolutely tell these projects are just shameless money grabs and no real thought and care went into these projects at all. Let's get into why posthumous projects need to stop. See, the controversial and risky thing about dropping anything from an artist after they've passed is that the artist's progression on whatever they were working on is frozen in time. They aren't there to tweak it, fix mistakes, or flat out leave out songs that they believe shouldn't be out or just on the project in general. This is literally why Anderson.Paak got a tattoo warning his camp and state, "When I'm gone, don't release any posthumous albums or songs with my name attached." Because at that point, it's not the actual artist. That's why when I saw this song named Falling Down with Lil Peep and XXX release, my jaw literally dropped. I did not believe it. They never even worked together when they were both alive for a very certain reason, which one thing that it could possibly be is that Ski Master Slum God had issues with Lil Peep and basically all of GBC for whatever dumb reason, and X had Ski's back on such a deep level, he said in a deleted tweet that I cannot for the life of me find, "I would never work with Peep after that bullshit they accused my brother of." Now, with that being said, it's not even just one-sided. Fishnark, who is associated with Peep, had this to say on his Instagram story after this song dropped.
Peep never heard the XXX feature because it didn't get made until after he was gone. He explicitly rejected XXX for his abuse of women, spent time and money getting XXX's songs removed from his Spotify playlist, and wouldn't have co-signed that song. Don't listen to it. Shit is people trying to make money off of him. He never would have signed up for that. He did not like XXXTentacion. I know a lot of fans cross over, but this is dead fucking wrong. If you have an ounce of respect for him and the person he was and his politics, ignore it. Please.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but it just seems like that song should have never come out. Then they tried throwing in this little interlude in the song where X is talking about Lil Peep, basically saying he wishes he could have met with him while he was alive or whatever. Now maybe, just maybe, something like this song would eventually materialize if that happened. And that's a huge maybe, but we'll never know. But basically trying to soften the blow of the fact that this release is weird and the fact that, man, whatever. It's crazy because the song isn't even that good. That's the unfortunate wildest part. If you disagree with me, that's completely fine. But please don't forget to realize the fact that the reason this song has hundreds of millions of plays is because it's the only official song these two artists have together. And saying official is kind of a stretch because both of the artists weren't even alive when it was conceived. Still to this day, their fan bases are massive, so of course the song is gonna do insane numbers. This song is ass and it never should have come out. Oh yeah, and while we're on the topic of X, hold on, because I gotta sit up for this one. X's estate has absolutely squeezed every single dime out of this man's legacy, officially re-releasing songs that were already out under an album called Look At Me, dropping one of the worst posthumous albums I have ever heard in my goddamn life, a literal fucking museum of memorabilia of X, even featuring, I shit you not, the vehicle that he was murdered in. Oh my fucking god, I wish I was joking. Man, I want to say something so disrespectful, but I don't want repercussions of this video reaching someone that it shouldn't. All I'm gonna say is, get your bag. I understand it, but holy hell, man. Damn, let this man rest. But what do I know? Maybe he would have wanted them to drop 2 albums full of unfinished demos and songs he wasn't finished with. Who fucking knows, right? I didn't know the man. Bad Vibes Forever is one of the worst albums I have ever heard in my life. This hurts to say because I love X. I started listening to X in 2015 and I never thought I would feel the way I feel about any music with him involved in it. And like I said earlier, saying he's involved with it is kind of weird because he was not alive when this project was made. This album just feels really forced and cheap. And I feel like it's not because the music isn't that great, which I will say, it's not great. And that's the absolute nicest way I could say that. I think it's just because this man was exploited so much and it's so visible on this album. Like on this album, it just feels like the music was scrounged together and some of the verses went on to beats that weren't even originally there. And it's super obvious. Just a massive cash grab and they were going to milk that cow dry. As you can see on his official YouTube channel, 5 years after his passing, they're still milking it. I mean, what the actual fuck is Tory Lanez doing on this project? What is Mavado doing on this project? Gun to the back of your head, name me 5 Mavado songs right now. Please do not even get me started on the instrumentals on this shit. I could tear this whole album apart. Man, it literally doesn't make sense. And I feel like the people who were on this are here for bread. Like, Kill Station, Craig Zinn, Ichabod Vanes, I could definitely understand that. You know, he's worked with them in the past while he was alive. But Blink 182? Okay, yeah, whatever. Old news, it was bad, I'm dying on that hill, I'm staying on that statement, I'm doubling down, don't care. This should have never been released. If that man got resurrected and saw what his estate did with his music, I think he would make a part 2 to this infamous mugshot. Drill is one of my top listened to genres and I've been listening to drill for a long time. I'm old. Every single day I'll listen to Kyle Rich, Shy UK, or Jen Carter, or Tata at least once. Most New Yorkians would agree that Pop Smoke will forever be a New York legend because of what he did for the New York drill scene. With his untimely passing, his fans were heartbroken, but let's be honest. While they were heartbroken, they wanted more music. This man's entire music career was just a few months shy of 2.5 years. For what he accomplished in that short amount of time is really a feat. That's why his label decided to squeeze that sweet money out of this man's remaining verses and demos he had recorded but not released. But what if he didn't want it to be out? Didn't matter because it became theirs after the fact. Now, Shoot for the Stars is genuinely not that bad of a project, even though the whole damn music industry was on it. Kinda feels like DJ Khaled has something to do with this shit. I mean, look at this track list. Holy hell. Featuring Lil Baby and The Baby, featuring Quavo, Sway Lee, Future, 50 Cent. It's a lot going on here. But nah, I'm not talking about that project. I'm talking about the project that was released just a year later that was even worse. Faith. Yeah, I'm gonna say it, I don't care. Victor needs to actually go to hell for greenlighting this project because looking at this now, this is a lot of features. Like, this kind of reminds me of when everybody was getting mad at Trippie Redd when he dropped Mansion Music because there was like only 3 songs on there where he was solo by himself. Faith feels extremely disingenuous, almost like they were just trying to get whatever was left. I don't know if you guys will understand that feeling, but go listen to Meet the Woo and then listen to Faith. You'll know what I mean. And I understand that these verses are either unfinished or went with a completely different beat possibly, but holy shit, this album isn't even polished necessarily to pass it off that well. And there are way too many features on this project, like the X project. And I get it, there wasn't enough content of the actual artist, so they had to spread out songs and make it a full-length record with the features. Some people, well, half the people on Faith shouldn't even be here. Like, for example, Kid Cudi. Now maybe, I don't know, maybe they were really cool, but y'all know how I feel about Kid Cudi to begin with. My bias aside, why? Seriously, what reason would Chris Brown be on this project other than to make a quick buck? You can't seriously think of a valid reason. This album was met with horrible reviews because most people who heard this shared my exact same sentiment. Even his producer Rico Beats said, and I quote, "If Pop was alive, he would not approve of 99% of the stuff they put out." I mean, it's written in the book, plain and simple. When somebody that actually worked with Pop Smoke the most says that, I think it becomes a serious problem. Long story short, the problem is that your camp will see a very successful thing you have going on, and when you pass, they're going to milk every single thing you did until there was nothing left. And it's even more scary because now there's AI where they can completely clone your voice. Now, does this go for all posthumous projects being bad? Not really, because like I said at the beginning, some aren't bad at all. Obviously, when the artist pass on, the fans are gonna want more music, or at least the music the artist did not drop. The real thing that matters when it comes to releasing someone's music after they die is putting the time and effort into making it seem like you're not milking a cow by at least trying to replicate what the artist would have wanted the supporters to have. But when you throw too many people on it, or people who shouldn't even be there, or you throw everything that the artist did and then some more out there, that's when it stops being about the fans and it starts being about the pockets.